On behalf of the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell, condemned in the strongest possible terms the ongoing attacks by Russian forces on the civilian population of Ukraine and the siege of the city of Mariupol. The Mariupol drama theater was heavily shelled on Wednesday, despite serving as a well-known and clearly marked shelter for civilians, including children, Borrell said on Thursday. Such targeted attacks on civilians and civilian infrastructure are shameful, reprehensible, and totally unacceptable. They constitute serious violations of international humanitarian law. Today, the EU paid out further macro-financial assistance to Ukraine amounting to around 300 million euros. The European Commission is also part of a multilateral task force that is looking at the assets of Russian oligarchs. High Representative Josep Borrell called on Russia to end its military actions in Russia immediately. He stated, "In accordance with the ruling of the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, of March 16th, Russia must cease its military actions and immediately and unconditionally withdraw all armed forces and military equipment from the entire territory of Ukraine, as well as safeguard the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence of Ukraine, fully respect them within their internationally recognized borders. Russia has no right under international law to unilaterally use force on the territory of a third country, as recently confirmed by the ICJ, and therefore bears full responsibility for this act of military aggression and the resulting destruction and loss of life. The perpetrators of these serious violations and war crimes, as well as the government officials and military leaders responsible, will be held accountable," he said. The European Commission on Thursday also disbursed additional macro-financial assistance to Ukraine. After the provision of 300 million euros last week, the week before last week, 289 million, a further part of the 1.2 billion emergency macro-financial aid program, have now been made available. In addition, the Commission has decided to provide Ukraine with a grant of 120 million as budget support in form of a state building and resilience contract. The aim is to support the strengthening of civil crisis prevention and crisis management at central and local level. The emergency program represents an important contribution to strengthening Ukraine's macroeconomic stability against the background of the unprovoked and unjustified invasion by Russia. It shows the EU's unwavering support for Ukraine. The payment is possible because the Council and the European Parliament quickly accepted the Commission's proposal for a new emergency aid program. In the course of the year, the remaining funds in the amount of 600 million euros will be paid out in accordance with the agreement between the EU and Ukraine. At the same time, as announced by President Ursula von der Leyen at the end of January, the Commission is currently preparing an additional micro-financial aid program to support Ukraine in the long term. The Treaty on State Building and Resilience in Ukraine, adopted on Thursday, aims to mitigate the impact of current and potential future crisis in the country. It provides targeted political measures to eliminate existing weaknesses. The European Commission is, as I said, also part of a multilateral task force including finance, justice, home affairs and trade ministers from the United States, Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United Kingdom, who will take all available legal action to locate and freeze assets of sanctioned Russian oligarchs and elites. A joint ministerial statement on Thursday said, "By working together to track down the assets of key Russian elites and representatives and crack down on their supporters, we are taking a further step to isolate them from the international financial system and face consequences for their actions." And they want to impose more of those, and we encourage other countries to join in this important work. And this is really important because this probably will only end if it's ended from within Russia. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.